Hello guys, thank you for always watching the Benjamin Zulu Show. Now, have you ever wondered why you are unable to get over that person you so much loved? Now, today is one of those special days where I have a sitting with Benjamin on this show, and we're going to have one of the most sobering conversations on how you are going to get over that person you so much loved. Welcome, Benjamin. Very sobering conversation.
Can you start by saying, defining love? The people say, I fell in love. The movies present it like something like catches you unawares, and you can't control it. And we see how people fall in love in the most unlikely circumstances. And somehow the love is like a force that carries them. And they ignore everything else to go with that force. That's a wrong idea. It's a movie. It's entertaining, but it's not real. So start by knowing that love, yes, it's an emotion. There's chemistry. There's a click. You love a person, there's a lot of chemistry. Connect well. But I also warned you about two levels of chemistry. The healthy one is an attraction that is childlike, innocent, sweet, pure. The healthy chemistry feels refreshing, new, but playful. Child, you miss the person, but you think pure thoughts about them. The other chemistry causes shaking and sweating. And you imagine fornication with them. You only see their body. Or you imagine dominating them more. Rest, you imagine possessing them. And when they have not replied to your messages, you are sick. And you feel palpitations and anxiety and fear and panic and waiting for them, and you are that is not healthy chemistry. That is attachment. The first chemistry is connection. This one is attachment. Obsession. So obsessions, attachments, compulsions, addictions are very strong but very unhealthy. That's what Amnon felt for Tamar. In scripture, we call it lust. How do you want to use such a bad one on you? People don't like being told they have lust. Better use substitute to describe the same thing. Ati, what you need to realize is this. Love involves chemistry. The second thing involves character compatibility. Are your characters compatible? Okay? The last thing is choice. Do you choose this person? Are you available to choose? Are you committed? You can meet the right person where the chemistry is there, you guys think alike, you have same values in life, but the timing is off. This one is not ready for marriage. This one is dating whoever. This one is hard to get. So the choice is where I want to bring you now. So after you choose a person, things have aligned, you guys are thinking alike, and you guys have chemistry. You know you have chemistry when your conversations are endless, okay? Talk everything about everything, and your time flies. It's a person you can catch up with, and you talk throughout the journey, and you didn't even realize it. And you enjoy, you flow. The first sign that you should marry a lady is endless conversations. Please, take that as a cue, not these others. And so that's why I recommend you talk before you meet.
Okay.
Because when you meet, other forces will show up. Other attractions will be too loud to allow sober reasoning. Any can come first, but I found it very easy when I talked to ladies before we met. It allowed me to test whether we are mentally compatible, whether we can think alike, whether we have conversation, whether we have chemistry. Chemistry and how you think alike are combined. Because people only enjoy if they think on the same man, they share values, share worldview, they have same opinions about this and that, they think in the same manner. In fact, you feel like you've known each other. Sometimes you meet a person and you're sure it's not the first time you've felt them. You're meeting them the first time, but you're sure, I have felt this way before. This person is not new to me. Because you think alike. People like to call it soul family. They feel familiar because you think alike. You share sentiments, you share opinions about life, about children. It feels so comforting to meet your soul family, a person you think alike, you share values. All right?
Yeah.
I want you to decide that even after you've fallen in love, you shall never be a victim, a slave of love. It starts by a decision. It's a choice. I chose this person, and I will never be helpless. I'll never be at their mercy. Remember, you chose them. Yes, there was feeling, but I could also find other people with whom we clicked in a similar manner. And I'm choosing them as long as they're choosing me. That's why it matters now. Please, 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 please. This love was never a storm that swept you. It's not something from there that you need know it. Oh my God, it just got now. It's my fate. It's not your fate. It's a choice. You're about to ask me, what if they were my soulmate? Hey, there are people who believe there's only one person
Yeah.
they can get married to.
Especially Christians.
Hallelujah. Because God created, this for evil. And so is your soulmate is a certain kind of a person. It's not a particular individual. Please understand the difference. It's a person who believes a certain way, thinks a certain way. It's a person whom you are compatible. But there are many of them of that type. Okay? It's many of them, and you can marry a different person depending on how much you had grown on which year, where were you located. They will end up being different according to what is happening in your life at that time. Every stage of your evolution, you find a different soulmate, depending on the flux, the social flux. Last year's group got married. This year's group got married. You keep looking until you meet that kind. You understand? So the person you marry today will change if you postpone your dating for a year.
Yeah.
The social situation changes. They move on. Circumstances change. But God is faithful. Allows. God wants you to also have a say in this thing. He doesn't want you to be a robot. So we have studied here, Brahma. Once I choose to love this really, I've loved her with a condition. Forget unconditional love. That's only fictional. There's not such thing. And I'll come to define it. When you say unconditional love, we mean something. But the condition is, I'll choose you as long as you're choosing me. I was happy alone, you are happy alone, we are happier together. We are coming together to build a life. And as long as you're in it, I am in it. But should you ever get out of it, I will also get out. Start with that, Brahma. That's why people take long to get over the person they loved.
Yeah.
Because they don't think they have power to live without the person. Decide before you go into love, even if you're already in, that you're not a victim, you're not a slave of the person you love. Yeah. Your life is not constituted of this relationship. You have a destiny, you have a calling, you have a God. Luckily, eternity, there is no marriage. Luckily for you. So if marriage doesn't work for you with this particular person, be happy that it will not be questioned over there. The moment a person rejects you, stops choosing you, you have the power to also stop choosing them. Paul said, if you convert to Christianity and somebody wants to walk away, let them walk away. Paul allowed it, but Christians don't preach that. They just want to say God hates divorce. Yeah. And surely he hates divorce, but he doesn't hate divorcees. And that he doesn't like abuse either. If between the divorce and abuse, your God is not irrational. Again, some marriages were not godly. They were ungodly. They were captives. Sabotage, abuse, pain, suffering. Can't say God hates divorce from that kind of marriage. Okay, so we are saying, Brahma, once you reach this decision, now you go into love in a ready manner, knowing we are in it, as long as it's working for us. Make sure you have that agreement with your woman. Should you meet other people who are better than me, no point keeping me here suffering. I will release you happily. Let me tell you another superpower. Never let people think you have no choice. Always let people know you stay with them because you choose to. Not because you have no choice. And you're choosing them because both of you are doing life together and you're in agreement. You are a team focused. Me and my wife, we are here to build our calling, build an empire, to serve the calling God called us together. That's why we are together. We are not together because, I just married him because I saw that he was suffering. This is not rescue mission. We are here to serve each other, serve God, build something, build a family, have a calling. We have intertwined our existence willingly every day, deciding to walk it together. That must be there every day. The moment a person pulls out, you know people, when you tell them you're walking out of marriage, they'll ask you, are you being beaten up? No. Is there sexual immorality? No. Are they providing? No. So why are you going out? Maybe they left emotionally.
Yeah. That is the area that we tend to ignore.
This person now treats you like a non-entity. They come to the house like a roommate. They don't talk to anyone. Why would you stay there? Get your own house and be your own roommate. Never stay in a shell of a marriage to satisfy society that you're still married. Because you'll be depressed. And I tell you that a bad partner can deny you heaven. They make you bitter until you can't even pray. You hate everybody, including God. Is it worth it, Brahma? Is it worth it? To stay with a woman until she makes you hate life? Think of killing yourself? You are so lost in thoughts that you have an accident on the road because you are stressed. People stay there saying because of the children. And the children now, you are confusing them as to what marriage is all about. Because they can see you conflicting, fighting, never harmony, anything. So how to get over the person whom you truly loved is number one, decide it was a choice. And if the person quits on me, I can always quit and find a life. Number two, the fact that you are affected by the breakup does not mean you are weak or that you have not moved on. The fact that you are affected only means that you are genuinely engaged. Bleeding, hurting, crying is not a sign of weakness. It only means you are authentically into it. Something you are fully engaged in is being ripped away. But remember, you're going through it with acceptance. That is inevitable. If the person has left, I can't keep it. I can't persuade them. I can't chase them. So the pain should not discourage you. It should tell you that it's a bleeding and you'll bandage it and heal. The other step is seek assistance. Seek therapy, seek conversations with a friend. You need bandaging. When you're hurting, don't say you stay alone. Be with a person, find assistance. If you don't, that pain can linger on for many years and dictate the direction of your life.
Exactly. And talking about dictating the direction of life, Benjamin, I want us to go a little bit deeper. You'll understand there is something we call soul ties. Is it one of the reasons as to why most people are unable to move on?
One of the things I want to tell Christians, I cannot find the word soul tie in the Bible. I cannot find it in psychology. I only find emotional attachments. I only find addictions. That's what they're calling soul ties. The reason I want you to avoid that word because it puts it in a realm you cannot control. If you know you have a soul tie with a person, how will you break it, my brother? You're not an expert in exorcism. Now it will start moving you around looking for who breaks soul ties. You're Googling. I have seen addictions. You can be addicted to a person. You can be addicted to a relationship. Or you can be so hurt and traumatized that you cannot find yourself outside that relationship. You get it? That trauma is treatable by acceptance, by building a different life, by crying, by writing letters, expressing your anger, by venting, by you can process the trauma. What people are calling soul ties is many of those who started dating the person when they were very young. This is premature attachments.
Okay.
People are complicating it. Ask them. Most of those people who talk about soul ties, they had sex with the person before they were 25. Your mind, before it matures, before it reaches 25, it's very soft, impressionable, and easily addicted to anything like cocaine, alcohol, sex, pornography, anything.
Okay.
It's a normal addiction, yes.
A normal addiction. Okay. Now, can somebody be unable to move on after breakup, maybe because of a certain feeling they had with this particular person in a certain area? For example, you loved one another, you used to go for a picnic somewhere, Karura Forest, you used to walk there. Every time you pass there, these feelings come. Start imagining about how you used to be, how your love used to blossom then.
You know, this is grief. When you lose a relationship, you're supposed to mourn the same way you'd have mourned if a loved one died. You'll have memories and triggers and flashbacks. When a relationship that mattered to you ends, there's some things you're supposed to change. Many people change the furniture in the house, others move houses, they go to different house, others change the car. You need to change some things that hold you back there. And you're saying you're doing it with acceptance because you are fully into it, but it ended against your will. When you find triggers, you must deal with them. Some of them, they wear off with time. Others, you give them different meaning. Others, you create different. There are ways of dealing with triggers. So it's normal when you are fully into a person, even going back to that church and seeing where they used to sit, or seeing the person. Sometimes you change churches, change community, change jobs to get away from the person.
What about the gifts? Some have been given gifts.
Yes, you decide. Some gifts you keep. They brought me a table. But there are some that are very sentimental. Just weigh every option on your own, but don't go too far, wasting money, throwing away things that are valuable. You were also into it and you gave them things as well. So it's not that these things are theirs. Some of them you just acquired when that person was around, and maybe you acquired through them. Move on with your life with them. Some things you don't, but we are saying those things that you need to dispose in order to heal.
Some people are addicted to, let's say, my previous girlfriend had a certain figure. So every time I see a lady with a similar figure, I flash back.
Yeah, that person has not yet let that girlfriend go. Once you heal from a person, you remember without being affected. You never stop remembering because of a part of your life. Remember, we are not saying you should reach a point where you are unaffected. The effect will never die. It's how it affects you. The flashbacks, the memories are normal. Oh, that person is that person. So. And you don't even resist it, but you don't attach any emotions to it anymore. That was just part of my life. It's ended. I'm in another one now.
Okay.
Do we forget the people who died? Totally. We don't. We still remember how they looked like, depending on how old we are. But if you lost these people when you are old enough, even their photos are around, do you stop being affecting or not remembering? No. But they simply stop affecting you until you can't function. You function with the memory around.
We have other people who are unable to move on because of the trauma. Maybe the guy they were in love with or the lady they were in love with traumatized them at some point. Now they are unable, or every time they think about a relationship, they think about that particular trauma. Now, what am I headed to? Where am I headed to? Benjamin, how do I know that my heart is still sick and I need healing?
Now, if you find those frequent flashbacks of anger, self-pity, self-doubt, we usually have 4 major emotions that remind you. If you have anger, fear, shame, or guilt. If you feel angry, if you feel ashamed, how could I? I'm a wrong person. Anger says, I've been wronged. Shame says, I'm a wrong person. Guilt says, I've done a wrong thing. And fear says, I'm in the wrong environment. If you find any of that dominating your day, appearing too strongly, and causing you to affect your normal functioning, seek therapy. Also, let's remind people to normalize therapy.
Yeah.
Treat it as normal to have therapy. Treat it as normal to see a counselor. Treat it as normal to, to process life with a therapist, with a counselor. And it should not be seen as a source of shame. Yeah.
Let's talk about the sexual attachments. We have people who are unable to move because of the sexual attachment. They had a sex experience with this person. Now every time they think of moving on, they hang on those feelings, they hang on those thoughts. Some are even in marriages or even in relationship. Every time they have an intercourse, they always think about the...
Yeah. The people who sleep with one person thinking about the other.
Yeah.
Sometimes, some of these, as I told you, they are attachments that are unhealthy. And the nostalgia exaggerates the feeling. You begin to think it was more pleasurable than actually it was.
Yeah.
As time goes by, the memories play havoc on you to make you think it was more pleasurable than actually it was. The reality is that most of the people you're missing, most of the things, it's not the person you miss, but the feeling you associate them with.
Okay.
So the solution, we call it rational emotive behavior therapy. In rational emotive behavior therapy, you dispute the exaggerated feeling. Say, was it really? No, there were many anxieties. Remember the reality. Why did you break up? Because of what was happening. But over time, you forget the wrongs and you only remember the good things. So you start longing as if you can recreate them if you got them back.
Yeah.
Dispute the exaggeration. And self-talk is mandatory. Remember that? Self-talk. It was not even that glorious. I remember. No. Stop making me feel like I should go back. No. Remember the anxiety that accompanied. And sex in toxic relationships is usually very sweet. Because it comes after a dispute. It's a reconciliation sex. It usually comes after a fight. It's usually coming after tension. So people remember the high moments of good sex. They don't remember the tears, the anxiety, the pain. But they think now things are getting better. Sex looks like a reconciliation. So it feels very high, but it's a very toxic cycle. The abuse cycle starts with, tensions building, then trigger, the event happening, and then, so tensions build, the thing happens. Like tension, person beats you up physically. Then there's reconciliation. We talk and we got back. During reconciliation, there's a honeymoon phase of good, and that's when the sex happens. Then again, tensions go building again. That cycle is very addictive. People who come from those toxic relationships, they start to remember only the honeymoon phases. They conveniently forget the tension, the abuse. All right? So dispute it. Remind yourself actually what was prevailing, the circumstances. The next thing is, after you dispute, you displace them. You replace these feelings with others. You focus on what is happening now and the beauty you have now, and finally remind yourself that is in the past, it can never happen. Sometimes your mind, after telling it, things severely it accepts and it stops. Remember, the biggest sex organ you have is your mind. The emotions are coming from there. The feelings are coming from there. The images. If you feed your mind with the right, accurate information of what is going on in your life now, it will leave you alone.
And I like that. Now, Benjamin, I don't know if you've come across this kind of people. Yes, they moved on. But again, if they are looking for somebody to date, they will go for the attributes that were in their exes. Is that moving on?
Maybe the ex really matched what you wanted. So they are not the source of the attributes. Like you want a person who can reason together. You want a person who thinks big like you. And that's important, Brahma. Some of the ladies you like can't think on your scale. They find you too restless. You talk about big cars. Just drive a simple car, and in any case, it does not waste money.
Bargain demons.
Bramwell, there are people who cannot see what you're seeing. If the attributes are what you wanted, they are not from your ex. Stop attributing them to your ex. Even if your ex had them in a strong sense. But if the attributes, the qualities, you only like them because you associated them with your ex, now you have not outgrown, you have not healed, and you should not date anyone. Never punish a person by comparing them with your former lovers. That's very unfair. Imagine a lady telling you, you don't make me feel the way John used to make me feel. Oh, Jemo used to do this. Oh, David. No. You're supposed to get to a place where you know. And that's why Bible keeps encouraging for the marriage bed to be pure, so that you don't have many comparisons. Many people who never had sex, it will be painful, but it will not have the ugliness of the bedroom issues. So, if it's your qualities, you want to continue looking for them until you find them. In fact, those people who, when you start dating, later on, if you check, even if they were not, and I told you, don't have relationships with people you're dating, just talk. Let them be interactions to check whether you're compatible. The people who please you will have some similar traits.
And talking about traits, Benjamin, what about these people, especially ladies, who are introduced to the other family You see, while they were dating, when she dating this guy, and now they developed relationships with that family. It has become like part of her family.
It's very unwise. Don't get any relationship before you get married, because you never know whether this will go south, and either will interfere and drag you back. Remember, if you have that old man who has liked you and he anticipates you to be a son-in-law in the future, and he's happy to see a decent young man. Parents feel a lot of relief when their children finally find decent people.
Yeah, very true.
It's a silent fear of every parent to be brought a crazy person in the name of an in-law.
Yeah.
Now they see a Bramwell, a clean guy. Don't frequent those people's family. Don't go there. You can take a look, but don't develop relationships. You need to take a look because maybe they are the community seers. They could have a spiritual heritage. You need to know. You need to see where you are marrying into. They will be part of family.
Yeah.
And although you may not use them to reject or say no to them, you need to know what you're dealing with. Informed choices. So that you understand her background.
Okay. And I like the way you put it, Benjamin, understanding her background. Now, in a relationship kind of cycle, you'll realize that one of the things that builds a relationship or makes a relationship graduate from one state to the other is communication.
Yep.
That communication tends to bring that particular attachment. Now, whenever a breakup has occurred, there are those attachments, be they emotional attachments. How do we break these emotional attachments, Benjamin?
Do you know, you are used to waking up and talking to them. You are used to waking up to their text.
Yes.
You are used to doing video calls, and you even mark days according to how we hang out on Sunday.
Yeah.
So the rhythm had become part of your life.
Yeah.
That is part of the laws, and you need to replace it. In Africa, they encourage the bereaved not to sit in the house and brood, to return to routines and heal as they do life. The same encouragement. Once a breakup has happened, don't lock yourself for days. Yes, you need time to cry, but don't stop your life. You used to talk to that person on Sunday, go to another one on Sunday. Not necessarily a lover, just a friend. You used to go out, take yourself out, or go with girls. Go with your boys now. Watch something else, call another one. Don't let that void suck you back. Sometimes you can fall back because when you left, you stood outside there. And the craving to be held, they used to have, to do what you used to do, got hold of you. Once a person leaves your life, replace that space in your life with healthy activities. Not a rebound relationship. Friendships, activity, your job. One best way is, nature does not entertain vacuums. So don't allow a place that you don't, what time do I do now? We used to do this, what do I now? I don't know what to do now. I feel so lost. No! Fill up. We used to go out at 6. Okay, at 6 I'm watching something. It's okay, let me sleep. I'm so tired. Fill that time. Don't let it suck you back. Yes.
You've just mentioned a rebound kind of relation, and that is where my question was headed, Benjamin, but you saw ahead. But you'll realize most people get into this trap, keep on attracting imposters because of that kind of void inside them. Okay? Because we've been dating for 5 years. You see, there is a way my system was accustomed to this kind of person. Now the person has left unceremoniously. So there is a void inside my heart that needs to be filled.
Let's remind ourselves this. Dating for years is totally unwise. Completely unwise. It's dating for speculation. It invites this kind of breakups. It invites monotony, boredom. Some people break up because they grew apart.
Yeah.
Monotony. It begins to mimic married life, but it is outside the structure of married life. When you're married, we are one unit. We are building the same life. When you're not married, we are not. So we can easily drift apart. My strong encouragement is date for short periods and settle once you find the right person. So if a breakup happened like this and you are used to being in a relationship, rebound is transferring need to another person but creating a bigger problem than the space they're feeling. So instead of rebounding, filling up with another lover, fill it up with life. Enroll yourself for driving school, for computer college, for a course you're going to go for gym, see friends, start watching some series. Refill the space with some good things.
Good things. Now, that good thing, Benjamin, actually creates a need in somebody's life. The expectations.
Yes.
You see, my relationship never worked. So I want to date a girl who's better than what I was dating. Right? I want to date a guy who's better than what I was dating. Do these expectations make these kind of people fall into these kind of traps you're talking about?
I've always told people that your next relationship should not be an improvement on your previous one.
I like that.
Should be an alignment with your calling. We're not building a staircase of do, re, mi, fa, sol, la, ti. Then my fourth relationship, finally, I hope it will have become good enough. No. Decide what you need for your life and look for that without any comparison. So, if we are saying take time before you move on to discover yourself, to find your balance, to heal from that pain. People avoid healing because healing requires solitude.
Yeah.
You must sit alone. Ask anybody who has been hospitalized, and most of the time you are alone. Treatment, to medication to take. People give you food, but they have to go to their day.
Yeah.
You are the one to sit with the pain. Healing requires that. That's why people skip it. That's why people try to avoid it, Brahma. But it's the only way. Do you know, during that time when you are alone and your world has changed so much, you had started thinking about this, you begin to see your life in a better light. I've gone through that myself, and that's the time I adopted a sense of urgency in my life. I said I'll never live in such a dragged manner. Dragging, hoping something happens, pursuing, thinking about this person, fantasizing, calling them, checking, running after them. They have become your idol. I hated it. I will never run after a reluctant lover. From today, I want a person who is excited about me as I am excited about them. To be a mutual excitement. If I can't find that, I want nothing. So start by finding yourself and deciding what you want, and then hold the standards there, then go searching proactively until you meet that.
Talking about standards, I'm just interested to know, Benjamin. Now, at what point do people start dropping their standards to settle for what is available?
They're tired.
Okay.
They're tired of searching. Remember I told you that you get tired on your feet when you walk.
Yeah.
You get tired in your head if you're doing a lot of thinking. But you get tired where? When you're searching. In your heart. It's the emotions you get tired. Courage. You lose heart, literally. You must watch out for emotional fatigue. Most people settle where they don't belong because of fatigue. They said, I don't have another strength to go out hoping again. It involves hoping, discouragement. Hoping, disappointment. Hoping. That's the process of searching. That's the process of searching, Brahma. When you're buying something like a plot, you find one, you hope it was the right. When you look for properties, the discouragement is not as personal. It is when you're looking for a partner.
Okay.
So you need periods of resetting, where you can talk with other friends also searching. Once you discuss, you feel strength that you're not alone. When you see another one who has found, you know you'll also find. You stay at it. Finding a good partner requires some kind of resilience, stubbornness with a purpose. That's what focus, resilience means. I'm not lowering my standards until I find. You're mixing your faith, you're mixing your resilience there. You put all your energy and your personality to that and say, I will not compromise. And as you live, you realize that's the process for acquiring every good thing.
Yeah.
You may think it's with a partner only, but your degree, think about how you studied for your degree. Think about how you passed your KCSE. Think about how you bought that piece of land. Think about how you got that good house. Generally, good things follow that process. You know, effort, focus, faith, determination, thinking about the thing, stretching. Generally, that's a general process.
All right. That is the general process. Thank you so much, Benjamin, for your time. Thank you guys for watching the Benjamin Zulu Show. Let's meet again next time.